each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
I'm a content creator.
It's okay.
This is my job.
Hey, I bet they mad.
From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to Kick.
What? Nigga, we made it.
You be creators of nonsense, content of self-importance, hate spreading to no end, viral emptiness, no substance. Stop hogging the spotlight and just share that ish. It goes a longer way when you spread that ish. Make it rain, just spray that ish. Real chosen ones out here to change that ish. From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to Kick, yeah, with it, we built it. You can't flip me dip it. From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to Kick, yeah, with it, we built it. You can't flip me dip it. Algorithms don't move us. We move to rhythm of truth in us. Hating on love in your sleep. Time is up, now we numbers deep.
Whoa.
One love in multiple forms, vibrating contrary to norms, creating waves worldwide, elevating frequencies high. From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to Kick, get with it, we built it. You can't flip me dip it. From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to Kick, get with it, we built it. You can't flip me dip it. You can't flip the script.
Whoa.
You're having a metric. Get with it, we built it. You can't flip me dip it.
These people don't understand. Stop trying to hog the spotlight and share that shit.
We're off DaWise. Talk to him.
We built this. To the moon. To the moon, Alice.
I'm a content creator.
Y'all like the sweater?
This is my job.
Hey, I bet they mad.
From TikTok to YouTube to Twitch to Kick.
What? Nigga, we made it.
You be creators of nonsense, content of self-importance, hate spreading to no end, viral emptiness, no substance. Stop hogging the spotlight and just share that ish. It goes.
What up? I put some shorts out there, so check out the shorts that I put out there. I try to put a little variety of things that's going on. It's a lot going on right now in the world. You know, we got to bring that high vibration back because there's so much going on. You know, I think we got to bring that high vibrational frequency back. It's not enough platforms out there putting out a high vibrational frequency, you know. Everybody wants to be this chaos queen or king, or you know, or some sort of like monetized guru through other people's trauma. You know, it's different variations of titles that they hold, but none of them is positive. None of them is good. You know, we watching all these people and all they doing is traumatize to monetize. All they're doing is, you know, creating conflict. That's it. Year long, we've been over here on YouTube watching this chaos, you know? That's all they created. And you go back and look at it. If you go back and look at our YouTube page, if you go back and look at some of the things on there, you know, you'll see that it's been nothing but that. And, you know, I tell people all the time, like, don't stay in that frequencies too long. Even if you're using this stuff for entertainment, you know, if you're using it for entertainment, you know, don't stay in that frequency for too long, you know. Right now, these are low vibrational entities. All of them. All of them. If you really look at it, you will see it. You will see it. You got to go back to the closet days. Jaguar, right? Because we got to start pointing out these demons and these low vibrational entities. I'm tired of them playing in our face. But right now we exposing Jaguar, right? Because we got to start pointing out these demons and these low vibrational entities. I'm tired of them playing in our face. But right now, see, and I kept true to that. I kept on pointing them out. Now, whether people wanted to see it or not, that was completely up to them. People chose to be blind to them as we pointed them out. People chose to ignore these entities. They chose to ignore it. You know, people chose to ignore this. People, have been, putting out information about how these disinformationers on YouTube, how they are manipulating, and putting out false information about people, character assassination, so on and so forth, right? We've been said this. We've been said that these people were plants and they were put out here, and Jaguar Wright said it herself. She said, "Oh, they didn't think it could be done. They didn't think I can do it." Right? But no, they literally got out here on social media and still made us fall for the cloak and the dagger. We were really searching for knowledge. We were really talking when it came to conspiracy theories and stuff, right? We were talking about round earth, flat earth. We was talking about the magnetosphere. We was talking about so much different stuff, Zachariah Stitchins, Earth Chronicles. We was talking about so much different stuff. Other people, have been, putting out. I want y'all to think about that. They never spoke about the knowledge, wisdom, all of that we were speaking about over here. They never spoke about that, right? We pointed out so much, already we pointed out so much. And then when you go back and you look and it's like, dang, we were right about so much. When we spoke about Charlie Clerk and, how Erica is a plant and all this other stuff, we spoke about that. I mean, yeah, they tried to put us low in the algorithm. Yeah, they didn't want to push the content, so on and so forth. But we spoke about all of this, right? Before Candace Owens started this whole thing, we already pointed it out. The day it happened, we pointed out. If you go back and look at the video, these are just clips from that video. If you go back and look at the video, we pointed it out the day it happened.
There's nothing gory about this shot at all. And so again, I am still going to work with him to get me the footage so that I think it should be shared. There's nothing gory about this footage from the back. The thing that really stood out to me, and I just kept asking him to replay it over and over and over again, is that there's no blood from the back. I'm very confused, not by what I saw, but what I didn't see. Okay. That's pretty much all I can tell you right now. Amir.
Do you hear what she said? Do you hear what she said? The behind view. Now, this is the camera that is directly behind his head. There's no blood. Right? This is a weapon that tear through deer, all types of stuff. But pushing past that, we've been pointed all of this stuff out. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Right? We're calling stuff, we're pointing stuff out, and the reality of this is sad, but it stands true, right? That we've been on point with all of this BS that was going on. And we were right. We were right about all of it. That's the one thing that they don't want to come back and admit. All these people that are in this algorithm that is known as the Jaguar Right sector, whatever you want to call it, right? The sad reality is their pride won't allow them to come back and admit that we were right. Mary Smith, what's going on with you? Sandra Love, what's up? Appreciate you for stopping through. Cream Cheese, what's going on? Soul Sparkles. But they don't want to admit that we were right. Oh, they'll pass by in the bushes. They'll do all of that stuff, but they don't want to admit that we were right. And then for the people out there that's trying to, pretend to be a branch of the Atlas family, however y'all working it, You can't do that. It doesn't even make sense. How are you going to be me better than me? That's how you know you got sociopathic tendencies. When you try to take someone's attributes, likenesses, and carry them on as your own. It becomes sociopath when you are not giving credit to the original creator of that, right? So all these different personas on here, you see them. They are using the internet as a means to survive. They are not on here really caring about people, trying to help people, none of that stuff. They are literally traumatizing to monetize. They are literally victimizing to victimize, right? They are playing a game with the psychological mindset of the collective, right? So you're going to see different events. Look at Whack 100 and Big Homie CC. Everybody thought that was like a real beef. Oh, we'll do this and then we'll create a scene and then we'll come back and we'll do another scene, and it's all content creation. Our reality has become a joke. No one even knows if anything's real anymore. Go back and look at the situation that took place with the LA TikTokers, where the dude came up and pew pew the other streamer, so on and so forth, YouTube streamer, whatever the case may be, right? You clearly hear the wife standing there like, is this real? She's still rolling the camera, everything. Is this real? She didn't even believe it. And her husband just got pew pew. And then she walked right into it. Pew pew. Yeah, is this real? We live in an upside down world, you know? The funniest thing is they tell us the truth in the movie. And I remember a phrase from a movie. It was Mario Brothers. There was a little blue flame in there. And everybody thought the blue flame was crazy because the blue flame was just jumping up and down in the cage, just happy as can be, while everybody else was like, what are you doing? We're going to pass. We're going to die. You know, da, da, da. And the blue flame was like, in an insane world, it'd be the sane who is deemed crazy. And it makes sense now. In this world, it is the sane who's deemed crazy. Look at what took place at the Diddy trial. When everybody felt like Diddy won, they was outside pouring baby oil on each other. Look at Ray J. No human decency for the people that was involved. None of that. Everybody seems to lack empathy. Oh, everybody knows what sympathy is because they want to feel sorry for somebody else. It makes them feel better about themselves, right? But none of them act as if they know what empathy is. Why is we in a world where everyone act like their feelings and emotions is the only feelings and emotions that exist in this world? Why is it that we're in a world where everybody act like their perception of reality is the only perception that can exist in this world? How did we come so far to fall so short? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. With knowledge at the tip of our fingertips, we still don't use it. Everybody want to be, some type of Google warrior. They bringing their physical fight to online instead of allowing the online to transform them into a higher level of vibrational knowledge and wisdom. They're using their lack of knowledge to take it online and be ignorant. And that's what we have. A bunch of people who can't get with technology, can't create, can't think for themselves, anything of that nature. They are online creating chaos because they can't form a creative thought. So they steal other people's creative thoughts. They bash other people, put other people down. I mean, we can go on and on, but you guys are in the most chaotic sector, if you would say. You guys, they told you to your face that this was the Hunger Games, and you stuck around. You watched Jaguar exploit people. You watched her take people, who was real victims, steal their story, implement herself in their story, right? Use the whole cruelty-free whatever organization as a way to scheme money. You watched her, use the Patreon as a way to scheme money. You watched her use different platforms on YouTube as a way to scheme money. You watched her use different crises from other people as a way to scheme money. You watched it. And still, because it was entertaining, you kept watching. So you put your intentions on something that you knew was not good for the collective, and you allowed it to fester and grow. And then when other people said, oh, we'll all take the Orlando Brown route and just start saying a bunch of crazy shit online, you never thought about how it would affect our reality. You never thought about the amount of chaos that it was pushing amongst the people collectively. And now you wondering why our people are in such a disarray. Love and light, love and light. You wonder why everybody's going crazy. People are snapping at McDonald's and Wendy's and all of this other stuff. Oh, it looked like they went off about something small. It's always supposed to do that. It's always supposed to look like that. When that straw breaks the camel back, it's always something small that breaks the camel's back. It's never the heavy loads that you've been putting on it. It's never the amount of pressure that you've been putting on it. It's always that straw. And the straw seems insignificant. We look at the straw more than we look at the situation, and we say, man, that was something so minor for that person to go off about. A French fry at McDonald's, so on and so forth. And we like, man, why did they snap over that? That don't even make sense. That's dumb as hell. But we're not looking at the years of pressure that person was facing. We're not looking at the ridicule, the judgment. Oh, we say don't judge, but why are we in a world that's so judgmental? Everybody's not supposed to judge a book by its cover. So why do you see so many influencers and content creators judging books by their cover? I mean, I knew once upon a time superlipsic, califlictic, epialidocious, all of that stuff. But now we in a world where everybody is superficial. No one's really caring about depths anymore. You start talking deep, you start talking about unity, you start talking about stuff like that. Man, I don't care, man. I'm trying to go get a fast car, I'm trying to go get some coochie. These are the things that they say they're going to try to go get. Think about that. It's crazy. Hold on. If this person invite me up on the panel, I'm gonna go up there, but I'm gonna try to make it short because I'm doing this live over here on YouTube. But I am, like I said, we're growing over on TikTok.
I hope you build your page, and then today on that live,
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, it's like a message from above. And what we were talking about is it's unfortunate that sometimes negative things happen.
Hold on, YouTube.
Kind of bring us back to where we're supposed to be. Hey, Atlas, see my prompt?
Hello. How are you?
Everybody, this is Atlas. Oh, hey there.
Pleasure to meet you.
I used to use the Atlas.
You say what?
I used to use the Atlas.
See, it's a whole narrative behind that name. Atlas is not actually a name, it's an energy. If you go back, Atlas goes back to Atlantis. If you look at Poseidon, his first son was named Atlas. It was a twin. If you go back in history, Atlas is not a person. Atlas is an energy. If you go back to the rise of the Titans, Atlas was punished with holding up the galaxy or the sky, or they got him holding up the world, but it's actually the sky. And that's where a lot of my knowledge and stuff comes from. It's because in till this day, my energy is still punished with all of that: the moon, stars, and quasars, 88 constellations of the sky, so on and so forth. So, when you know what energy you actually represent, your Kundalini energy, when you get your Akashic records, so on and so forth, you'll get fragments, and those fragments comes in variations of memories of who your previous selves was. And I have traced all of my previous selves all the way up to Constantine, but that's a story for another time. In
How do I remember Atlas? You helped me. Oh shoot, I had the green screen. I'm trying to take these boxes. He helped me the last time. The first time I was doing my DJ equipment too, you helped me with that too.
Yeah, I remember.
Take these boxes.
If you click on your screen, you should. There you go.
I got that. So now, how do I get inside the green screen? I want to change the picture.
Okay, at the bottom, you want to look at the bottom of your screen where it says like it should say something like it should have like a little picture,
That's it.
not the settings one, the one next to it.
That's on the background.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let me pick it. Yeah. So, so yeah, actually I wanted to look up the definition of that because that is so, and I love that Regan asked me. She was like, I want to know why you call yourself quantum.
Right.
And going back to what we're saying, like your name carries who you are. That's your energy.
It's your energy. So it's like a lot of times people will mistaken, and there's different variations of energy. Like feelings and emotions at one point was considered to be energy or entities. So we have to be careful of what feelings and emotions we allow to overcome us too when we're talking about energies, because this comes with emotional intelligence and protecting your energies. So when it's like a lot of people right now are going through a cleaning up chakra type of um, life, if you would say. And the reason why people's lives are so chaotic is because people don't know how to let go. We made promises to this carnal world, and now that we're in a spiritual rising, we can't let go those carnal promises that we made, if that makes sense.
Yeah, see, Danny just said my energy is flat right now. I'm stressed and tight. That's how I was feeling, and it's really interesting because I love you so much for that.
I gotta hurry up and get out of this live. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Sometimes I definitely wait, I can keep this reality. But before I get into that, I want to give the definition of Atlas. The name Atlas comes from Greek mythology, meaning to endure or bearer of the heavens. Named after the Titan condemned to hold up the sky, symbolizing immense strength, resilience, and endurance.
See, pretty much everything that the energy that I represent. And it's funny because a lot of people on this application, they don't know me. They just know my voice. You know what I mean? Like I yeah, I cammed up before, but I'm saying like the name.
What did you say when he cammed up? You got what?
I met him when he was camping up.
Yeah.
I don't see him now, but I actually got to see him and meet him camped up.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's why I say like a lot of people they just know the voice. So when I jump on different platforms and I start speaking and talking about different variations of knowledge, they're like, I know that voice. I know who that is, and and that's an energy. That's something that carries with because a face can change. Somebody's physical can change, but your energy won't lie. Your energy remain who you are. A lot of people fake it till they make it, and that's when you see those crash outs because they're not being their authentic self. They pretended to be something for so long, and then their authentic self pushes and fight. That's because a lot of people don't want to admit that they're low vibrational. They're you know
Austin talks about that a lot. She tells me, I hear her saying, like, that's low vibrational. I hear that from her.
Yeah, because it's true. Because we have to really be aware of our vibration frequency. Like even even with this whole Rizzy situation, like there's I'm like, oh man, I really can't take this.
All right, I'm gonna stay in her box, but I'm going to continue the YouTube live because
I found it interesting to talk about because it makes me look at the vibrational frequency of the collective consciousness.
But yeah, so like I said, we're still growing over there on YouTube. We still helping people build their pages on YouTube, so on and so forth. So we still got the same operation going on. Our operation didn't change, you know. A lot of people over on TikTok, they know me. It's more of a knowledgeable thing, it's a more of an enlightenment thing. And like I said from the beginning, we came over to YouTube to point out the low vibrational frequency, not to get caught up in it, not to get trapped in it, you know, not to get involved in it, just to point it out. That's why we did it. So, you know, carelessly laughing, so on and so forth, because it's not us. A lot of people have allowed this energy to become them, you know, and now they're stuck in that energy that is low vibrational, right? They don't know how to get out of it. And then when someone comes along to try to teach you, show you how to get out of these low vibrational energies, right? You get mad at them because they made it look easy. You know, they made it easy for you, easy for you. You know, a lot of people always say that, you know, so that's why I say you have to be very careful, be very cautious. You know, I'm gonna ask them if y'all can hear the conversation because I want to finish this conversation. Hold on.
I need to lock myself away. That's how I felt today. I just wanted to come home and just lay down. And then I get on TikTok and it's all this low vibrational stuff. And then, you know, two set that room over and I just hung out for a little bit and I really feel so much better. Like my, you know, and then like I haven't seen Atlas in a minute. And then here's Atlas. So it's like, it's almost like Atlas saw my bat signal.
Well, that's why I always say, like, a lot of times because I know we're multidimensional beings sharing a human experience. So I allow people to experience humanity. So I step away a lot of times. A lot of people are, you know, and I'm sorry. Before I finish this, I do have a YouTube going on right now, so my YouTube probably can hear some of the stuff that you're saying. Imani 111 is one of my YouTube followers. Well, actually, not even a YouTube follower. It's an Atlas family. We have a family. We have a brand. We have a clothing store. We actually help people grow pages and build their pages, not only over here but also on YouTube or Twitch because we're a social media management group. Yeah, but that's why I say like I don't try to force it on people. I don't try to. I'm sorry, Imani. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question, please? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Nicole. Go ahead, OG.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So, what you're talking about, I think that explains why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now.
I will play some music, but
And I am low. I am tired. I am just exhausted. How do I get my frequency back up?
Alice, you want to take this one?
Yes. Now that's a good question because a lot of people allow this low vibration that you're feeling to intervene in their physical life. Then when it starts intervening in your physical life, you have to ride the wave out almost. You know what I mean? So if it's already at that point where it's in that materialistic state to where as though like you might be having car trouble, you might be hearing problems with the family, you know, a lot of different negative stuff might come because it comes in a wave and you have to wait that wave out. But, you know, and due to the fact that we're in the lower seasons, it's you probably won't feel it until that sun come back unless you have like a different mental method. And what I mean by mental method is like You have to remember the seven heavens. Your seven heavens are your eyes, your ears, your nose, and your tongue, right? So if you treat those things right, allow your ears to hear good things and block out the bad things. Allow your eyes to see good things. I would say, go back and watch some cartoons that you used to watch that made you happy, so on and so forth. Or, allow your tongue to taste some of those joys that you once enjoyed, but as the age and time went by, you forgot the enjoyment of a Charleston chew. You forgot that Tootsie Roll commercial. You forgot that. So you have to allow yourself to remember those and keep that place in your mind. It's a happy place. It's always happy there. And you have to create that in your mind. It doesn't exist in the reality yet, but that's why in the Bible it says we'll see a new heaven and then a new earth, because it has to change in your heavens before it can come into the physical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was going to say, is prayer going to help me?
Prayer helps, but it depends on who you're praying to. If you're praying to something outside yourself, it might not help, because remember, you serve a jealous God, and that God is within inside of you. So if you pray to the God inside of you, that God will surely answer you. It's like me asking myself, what's wrong? Right? Something inside of me is going to say, well, your car don't work, and you're doing this and you're doing that. And whether I accept what that voice inside of me says or not is ultimately up to me. But there's something inside of all of us that is speaking to us if we listen.
Okay. Thank you.
I want to piggyback on what you said. We have to remember too, in the scripture.
So YouTube, this is an ideal look at
So
what we actually do. We don't go around and try to speak low vibrations into people. We're not tearing each other down. Everyone knows me to speak life, light, and that's what I go around and do. I don't know what this whole Jaguar right algorithm is, this whole negative thing, but that's never been what we were about. And no matter how much we point out the negative in this world, we will never become that negative that is in this world. We won't do it. We won't allow ourselves to. We find ourselves in it. We find ourselves, falling victim to it, but we will not allow it to become us. So continue to grow with inside yourself. And I'm going to continue to help people grow with inside themselves. That's what I do over here on this platform. When I go over here, I go over here on other people's platform because I'm looking for those who are trying to grow knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know, this is why they can't really stop me, with my growth, because I'm looking for a higher collective. I'm willing to let go anyone who is not trying to be of a higher version of themselves, a better version of themselves, because I'm challenging myself every day to be better than the person I was yesterday. So the problem with that is when you challenge yourself to be better than the person that you was, everybody else look at you and they like, oh, who do you think you is? Da, 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 da. I'm who you should be. I'm a reflection of you. So it's all about growth. It's all about growth. So I'm gonna let y'all listen in on it for a little bit so y'all can get an idea of what we actually bring to the table. And like I said, we're growing. You can't really stop us from growing. You can try to slow us down, but you can't really stop us from growing, because people are yearning for a collective that is of that type of build: love, light, unity, not trying to tear you down, trying to give you positive reinforcement. There's certain ways that you can say something to somebody that will help them get better and grow with inside themselves. Or you can use your tongue to tear them down. A lot of people use their tongue to tear them down. Well, you're just not qualified. You just don't cut it. You ain't got a mind like mine. That's because no. If you got a strong mind, you're supposed to tend to the other minds.
Thank you, KK. I was saying to her, I was like, well, yeah, I really want to talk more about quantum physics. I said, but it's a shame that these messy talk people will get hundreds and hundreds of people on their lives But if I go live, I'll get 2 people. And she let me know. She was like, no, that's because of what you're thinking. And she was so right. Because if
I don't know if y'all can hear it or if it's loud enough for y'all to hear it.
anything different than what I just said.
Yep. Correct.
Why would the universe go against my wishes? If I think only 2 people are going to show up, why would the universe give me 100?
It's, you know why? I'm gonna tell you why that things happen the way they happen. It's because time doesn't exist.
Time is not a construct. Yeah.
Right. So because in our mind we formed an idea of time, we think everything is supposed to happen within a time that we understand. But because we are out of time, because the manipulation of time and dates and everything that dates back in our history, we are out of touch with the time that we're in and the time that we're supposed to be in. And what I mean,
Linear. And you know what's crazy, Atlas? As I'm thinking about that, I was telling them I met you back in May.
okay, you can hear. Okay.
And here we are months later. So time is not real. So it doesn't matter if I met you yesterday or if I met you today. Today was the day that we were supposed to get on the live and talk about quantum physics. This was the quote unquote time.
The only thing that is, it's moments. Moments create memories, and because those memories stretch out, you think a time is formed, but really you're just going from moment to moment.
That's so, yeah. So that moment that I met you and you said, yeah, we'll kick it and talk, it was just a moment that I remembered.
Exactly. Until the moment comes where the memory happens, right? The memory of that moment is what you remember.
Right. Today I remember what you said.
Right.
I'm like, wow. And I could give it a time because I remember it was around the Diddy thing because we were talking about the Diddy trial. So I remember it was around May. But
that's you creating that moment into a memory, which creates a timeline for it, because really that could have happened yesterday. It could have happened this morning. It doesn't. You're creating the timeline for it because you're digging back into your recollection of it. So therefore you put a human construct to it, which is that timeline. But really that moment happened yesterday. That moment could be happening right now.
Yeah. I did a video on superposition. I'm gonna send it to you, Alex. I really want to practice more, doing more quantum physics. She's hold on. She's, but why does time go so quickly now? It seems like it's going quickly.
No, it is actually going quickly, and I'm glad someone brought that up. The reason why time is speeding up is because the operation has changed. We are no longer in the time of Saturn. We have shifted to an Aquarius sky that is pushing us closer to the center of our universe, which is allowing us to get closer to creation, or the source, as you would speak. So we are shifting from a green color to a blue color, and this is the aura of the planet. When our planet shift and it takes in the light from the sun, it changes the operation of the planet. If the operation of the planet changes, then mankind's operation too will change. But because we are stubborn, we are fighting the change that is taking place with the planet. You get what I'm saying? Because we're creatures of habit. And now we have to break those habits in order to embrace the change, but it's hard because the change is an unknowing change, and a lot of people don't like to walk into something that they don't know. So it's fear that's placed there. It's a wall of fear that's placed of walking in that unknown.
And that fear is fake because since we don't know, we're scared, but it's not real.
Because someone else trained our minds to place fear in our minds. If think about it, if someone else trained me to think that fear doesn't exist, but the experience of life exists, right? Then I wouldn't have fear. but someone else placed fear in our mind, and now we place fear in everything that we think about. If you go to someone right now and say that you're taking a trip to Mexico, you know what they're going to place? Fear. You ain't scared. You know they kidnapping people. You know they doing this. You know that. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. I totally dig what you're saying, and that's the illusion. And it's like if we don't protect our energy, then we can fall into that illusion and create a reality that we really didn't want to create. Hi, Gina. Welcome up, Gina.
And that comes with knowing that you're manifesting your reality.
Knowing, right?
Right. Hello, Gina. How are you?
Gina, did you want to say something, or are you just chilling?
No, I'm good. I just came in. I'm just finishing up my side dishes. Hey, Charlene, KK, OG. I love the little backdrop. Like that's like my
Thank you.
Quantum or Atlas, how do you protect your energy when you're, like, say for instance, you're around a topic that doesn't suit you, like that's bringing in the negative and bringing in the bad vibrations? So how do you be in that space and still protect your good energy?
Okay, so a lot. My method might not work for other people. It might, but I'll tell you a couple of different ways. One, you have to remind yourself what is your energy when you're in a space of other energies. Think about going into Walmart. When you walk into a Walmart, you're going to get a lot of other people's mental thoughts pressing on you. Whenever you're in a crowded space, you're not in your own thought. You'll start thinking differently because everybody else is pushing thoughts around. And that's the same thing with your energy. When you're in a space and that energy is not yours, remind yourself what is your energies. Some people back in the day used to use different rosaries, beads that they would keep in their hands to remind themselves in these moments, necklaces that they would touch frequently to remind themselves of what their energy is. And then it's also emotional intelligence, right? So you have to be able to not give your emotions to certain things, because your emotions is your energy. It is an energy. So when you are in these spaces, you can't feed it your emotions because that's what it wants. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, because that's the thing is sometimes that's why I love when he said to experience joy. Remember that time when I was in the funk and I went on live and I just started listening to Prince music? The Prince music brings me joy, right? So I needed to put myself in a space. There's times when if somebody had a camera look in my room, there's times when I'll put on a Prince song and just dance like a crazy person around my room. Just jump up around and dance like I used to dance as a kid. And that's really to shift that vibrational frequency and get me. Prince even says it in the song "Let's Go Crazy." He says, if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy, punch a higher floor. That's what he means by that lyric. He said that the elevator was symbolic for the devil. And going crazy is also a quantum physics terms, like wrenching yourself out. Because sometimes we might look like we're crazy because people will be like, how can she be in this mental state when this stuff is going on? But it's because you're quantum physicsing a situation. So he says if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy, punch a higher floor. When he says punch a higher floor, that's what he means. Seek a higher vibrational frequency, punch a higher floor.
So when I'm struggling with that and I can't do that, and does that mean the negative is winning with me?
Yeah. Well, no. It's not wins and losses. It's not wins and losses. Okay. So here's the best way to look at it, right? You are both, right? Embrace what you are, right? Because when you fight against it, it's going to push even harder, right? So we are feelings and emotions. We are all of that stuff, right? But we have to have a level of intelligence that allow us to control those, because at one point those were called the 72 demons of the soul of man. And we still have those demons attached to us. A lot of people don't like the term and don't like the wording because they're entities, but those entities come together to form us. It is the light and the dark that makes us fully whole, if that makes sense. So you have to, control your own. Sometimes you might allow different variations of that to transform into passion, right? So you find something that you're passionate about and you can transform some of that into that passion. Maybe it's painting. I don't know what sign you are, but if I knew your sign, I can probably tell you you're creative, whatever. But okay, so however you looking at this, you have to find your transform of that energy, like alchemy. So yes, you're building up that energy, but what are you as a vessel, going to transform that into? It's not always what's going in, it's what's coming out, right? So even though someone might pour sadness into me, it doesn't have to mean that I'm going to pour sadness out. I have the ability to turn that into something else of my choosing and then push that out instead.
Okay. Can I say something? Sometimes it feels like you might, like, just listening to you, I feel like you're hiding behind certain things that you're ready for, that you're afraid to push forward in. Even though it's right there in the support and everything you've asked for and everything, the knowledge and stuff that you've gained from it, like, I feel like you're setting yourself back, because even with what he said, we all have to find our own thing. My outlet is water. Even though I'm a fire sign, but my outlet is peace and water. When you find your peace, you find your niche, you can always go to it. It doesn't matter. Like, for me, mine is water. I can turn on a faucet. I can go look at a lake, or I can turn the sounds on that bring that good vibration back to me. Because when somebody pours all their negative energy into there, they're not just bringing just their energy. They're bringing all the demonic stuff that they've encountered and what they brought to the table against you. So you might have a clean white spirit and being pure in your intentions of doing things, but then you've got to also, like my husband said, sometimes you got to read the room, but you got to read the room with your feeling and your energy. And the way that you do it is you go in by feeling like, okay, breathe in, breathe out, I'm coming in. And you'll start noticing, like, finding your niche of who you are through, like, different energy and vibrations. Some people that'll say they're for you, but you'll understand, like, are they really here for me? Because if you're like this, why are you acting like this?
Are we being direct here?
No, this is just in general.
No. I mean, can we be direct? Are we being direct? Like, okay. So if we're looking at this, and if I can be direct with this, then I want to say you are coming here, or you have vibrated here for confirmation of something. So we are reflecting that confirmation. Now, what you having a problem with is letting go something or someone, or it's something that you not letting go of, and you're looking for the strength to let that go, to grow in what you want to grow in. Does that make sense?
You nailed it for her. You nailed it for her.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said what
So
I was trying to convey out with less words, but you made it clear, because what she's stopping, and she doesn't understand what she's stopping, is a gift that's supposed to be that was given to her long time ago. And her giftings, she's blocking because she doesn't want, like, she wants to see it, but then she's too scared to move forward into it. It's like a kid taking a step. Until you take that first step, you won't know until you do it. And you keep getting ready to take that step, but then you're like, nope, I'm gonna take that step, and then you're like, nope. But then you've got to a point where it was, I'm gonna just bring this in, for example, because God has shown me the number 2, and you know what number 2 means, because He's been showing you that. And every step that you take, you keep taking 2 steps back. but he keeps showing you as you're moving forward, you keep moving back, and you don't want to move forward because something is blocking you. Because I don't know if it's that guy from your past that said you wasn't gonna move forward in that position, but he's wrong, because that guy from your past is what's holding you back, and you need to let him go.
That's crazy.
I will add to that, because it's more, right?
Yes.
You're thinking in the mindset of like age. You're too old to start over. Da 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 da. All this stuff is playing in your mind. But I want to tell you, like, the universe has created a path for you so unique that only you can take it. Only you can take this path. No one can go with you. You're going to run across a lot of people along that path, but they can't go with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
But that guy that's been stopping you and in your mindset, even though he's not around you right now, you need to let that torture go. Because that's what's holding you back. It's that torture. And like he said,
I don't know nothing about that. I wasn't around for that story. I don't know nothing about this. I don't know none of these people on this panel. Never talked to none of these people before, nothing. So I don't,
And you know, because he runs through your mind consistently.
but I don't like doing this too much, because I don't like the energies that I have to deal with when I'm doing this stuff for people or talking to people this way. I don't like the energy because they push a lot of energy, especially women. They push a lot of energy, but I know, that they need this, this reassurance, this reflection, but I don't like it because they have a lot of blockages up, I guess, and a lot of people don't know how to let down their own blockages. So you transmute a lot of different energies with people.
I don't want people to read me. I think you do, OG.
I'm sorry. I don't. Okay, so because we are all connected in the minds is what you're allowing out of your pineal. I don't want to do a reading because I don't want to get into your mind like that. But these are what I'm telling or speaking on is what you're allowing to come out of your pineal. Does that make sense?
When you're saying, yeah, it's really you. Like, they're not reading you. They're just saying the things out loud that you already know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like some things, like some things they were saying, I was like, dang, Quantum, I just talked to you. I was just talking to you about something. Like, damn. Yeah, I like it.
I love what he says, and he's so right, because if you didn't really allow that or open yourself to that, they would not have been able to read those things.
No, the things that she don't want y'all to know, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing about. There's some things that she's don't want to know. That's why I said, are we being direct?
Right. That's why we're on limits of what we can say and not say because of what we're told. And the thing is, like, I was brought here for a reason. Like, I kept, like, my phone was sitting on the other side of the room, and something kept saying, grab your phone, grab your phone. I love it, grab your phone. And I was
Okay.
Like, why am I grabbing my phone? And as soon as I clicked on, here I am, and this is the reason.
You know what's crazy? My best friend in high school, her name was Margarita. So I'm having such a quantum entanglement right now. It's not even funny.
Like, I feel connection, but we're gonna talk about that later because
we're gonna talk offline. Yeah, we'll talk offline. But it's really beautiful, and it's all quantum physics, right? So it's almost like we all just dialed into this frequency. So we're on radio station Q squared right now. You know, everybody's dialed in, and when you're tapped in like that, hey Jane, Mary Twin, we're all tapped in right now because I think we all deep down inside we're feeling that heavy energy of everything that's been going on, and it's like, man, I need a relief from that. I know that's how I felt.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that because from what I said before, this whole case with Rizzy, as much as from what I've seen of her, I love her, and what happened was absolutely tragic and should never have happened. I feel the weight of it, and it's pulling me down.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me say, and I'm cutting you off for a reason. I apologize, but I'm cutting you off for a reason because it's that of what it is pulling on. That is what they wanted it to do, right? That's why we are on here trying to reverse it, right? This is reverse engineering, right? I don't come out of the woodworks for nothing. This is reverse engineering. There is a heavy low vibrational wave, and they want you to feel this, right? But this is where that reverse comes in, right? That's why we come and speak about higher vibrational things, higher frequencies, and we need more platforms like this. We need more spaces like this, right? So I'm going to say, gift the panel. Make sure you drop a gift on some of the people that's up on the panel, so that way TikTok knows that we want this type of stuff or this space, however you look at it. And for those who are feeling it, I want you to understand, certain energies return back to the universe for a reason. They're playing a game. They want so many souls to go into different, frequencies. They knew this from the time that they started on her with her mental health and so on and so forth. And, I let this be a very transparent, because this could have been any of us. That's why we're feeling the weight of it, because we were on these platforms, we were in these spaces, and the reality of it is, TikTok, social media saved a lot of us, and we watched it save people because they found a collective or a group that they belong to. They found, something that they can hold on to in this reality. We're all a couple of conversations from letting go.
Sorry, real quick. What I want to say to you and what he's saying right now, because the way that you're feeling and your vibration is just coming through, even though you say you don't want nobody to read you, but it's hard not to read somebody that when their energy is coming through. And what you're feeling is so much strong empathy of a love of a child, where it could be from somebody from your past life that that has passed, and you felt that connection with them. That's where your love, like, you have a connection with this person that you don't even know.
I don't know, but it's hard.
Right, it's not the physical. It's once you enter into that different realm.
Damn, I hate when they do this. She's doing the trauma thing. I don't like. I'm gonna have to drop. I know I'm gonna have to drop because I don't like it when they do this. She's gonna keep on pushing this.
And stop being fearful of it, because you're letting that fear, because you see certain signs left and right. And the one thing that this person has always told you, with no matter how hard it seems, and what you're doing, but always know, if I'm not here, I'm still here.
My dad's still alive, and
no, not like I'm talking around. Yeah, like he's physically near you. I'm talking about you have a connection to where even though he's not around you, he's around you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And when you feel like those little senses, and you say, my dad's thinking of me. My dad's thinking of me. Those little things that have happened, I'm going to point this out to you Wednesday of last week. When that happened to you, you were sitting at your table and you said, why? And God said, why not? And you said, why is this happening? And he said, because I'm showing you. It's time to open up and learn your giftings, because you are not just you are one of us. And you run from a pure bloodline. And you've been seeing things a lot lately, and it's okay. And don't be as scared.
How did you know that?
Because your eyes are opening up and the veil has already been torn.
Okay. I don't think, like, when it comes to what's coming off, all of this information that I've been taking in, And Black Cougar is the same. It is hard. It is heavy knowing what happened, and I am trying so hard to fight through it and get to the other side of it, because when I was little, I'm sorry if I trigger anyone with this. My dad tried to
See. I was going to ask if you wanted to speak on. I want to say this. Your connection with this is too deep. If I could speak on it, I don't want to put too much of your personal life out there. Like I said, I don't know you, but I am on a YouTube page, and my YouTube page can hear. So I don't want to speak on certain things. But this is not the first time. How can I put this without saying too much? Okay, so basically, the reason why you're connected to this so much is because of your life. Your life, like when you go back to that story of, your dad trying to unalive the whole family, in a reality, if you're looking at quantum physics and you're practicing, multiple dimensions, in a dimension, you can say that happened, right? And maybe fragments of that is playing on your mind, that you're not supposed to be here, that this could have been you, different variations of it. And I think that it's hitting you hard because of that, because of you saying, or you ideally knowing this could have been you in so many different occasions.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think like you're pouring your feelings and emotions out into it because it's you. A part of you want with her, if that makes sense, because I want you to understand we are all reflections of one another. So when one of our reflections go through something, we all feel it. And
You're 100% right. But I didn't notice it until you said it. I think a little bit of me did go with her, even though I didn't know her.
You did, because he's so in superposition. So there's so many multiple, like when he says that we're multi-dimensional being, there's so many different versions of you. And who knows, perhaps there is a version of you that did know her on another dimension. Alice, correct me if I'm wrong.
I want to say she's right.
I want to say, like, to everybody that's in this room and in this space, why I have a question. Why do this conversation feel so familiar, and why do I feel like I talked to y'all before?
Because we did in another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happened before.
I think we all. I call this. It will be back up.
Hey, Kaylee.
Hi, Kaylee.
You were saying you call this what?
I said some people say it's like deja vu, but what we call it is meeting up again.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
At one point, like Atlas, like I don't know you, but I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Margarita, I don't know you, but I know you. And it's crazy because, like I said, my best friend in high school, her name was Margarita, and today I needed a hug.
I'm 100.
And her birthday was just Sunday, and she and I were chatting on the phone. I always remember her birthday. We were friends since high school. And it's crazy because we were talking about Kings Plaza in Brooklyn, and we went down memory lane for a little bit. And then,
I'm telling y'all, YouTube, listen. I know how to build a collective. I know how to build a collective. My collective is screaming for me right now. And I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but my collective is screaming for me right now. And I can jump on any platform, and as long as they're not blocking the algorithm, that collective is going to hear me.
Going back to my happy place. High school was the happiest 4 years of my life.
Listen,
That's when
watch. I'm gonna show y'all.
my best friend,
I'm gonna show y'all
cheerleading squad.
vibrational frequency. Watch. I'm gonna show y'all.
Yeah, she was my friend.
Just all you gotta do is just subscribe to the page and tune in, and I'm gonna reveal
Right. And here you are.
how we are reflections of one another.
Here for you.
I want to say this. Everything that all of you guys have been experiencing, the speeding up of your mind, the sleepless nights, the waking up in the middle of the night, the not being able to think about food until someone else reminds you to eat, different variations of sounds that you might hear, vibrational frequencies behind your ear or vibrations behind your ear, different things like that. The universe is pumping a sound through the sun, and that the sun is transmitting it into a light, and that light is feeding the world, and that light is upon all of us, and it does something different to our bodies. Like plants go through photosynthesis, we go through solar synthesis. So all these solar flares that's taking place in the middle of the night while you're asleep, it is changing the way you think and feel about things. Your emotions are at an all-time high. I mean, you can put on a commercial right now, and I guarantee you it'll bring you to tears if you know what I mean? Or a movie that might pull, or so a lot of our feelings and emotions is being manipulated through content creation, influencers, so on and so forth. So don't tie yourself to a lot of the things that you're seeing online. The reason why this hit home is because this is a physical person, and we know, like, I know this person. I literally, spoke to this person a year and a half ago when Kiana built her page. Like, I'm attached to both sides of this because I helped Kiana build that space that she's using for fuckery. And I met Rizzy over there at the time that I was beefing with Kev the comic, and I was, and I wouldn't attack Rizzy. Rizzy was, saying certain things to me, but I would never argue with Rizzy. I would just say, go ahead, get it out. Whatever it is that you're mad about, I'll be that outlet. I'll take that. Just go ahead and let it out. And after a while, Rizzy was like, man, like, I don't have no, like, I don't want to fight with you. Like, you're cool, so on and so forth. And that's how me and Rizzy left off. But Rizzy had a fight to pick. And she was picking certain energies because she was mad. If you go back and look at Rizzy's story, she was mad. She related a lot of energy to her father, and different people in her life. That's why when Kiana started a certain way, at one point, Kiana reminded her of her mom. And then when shit went south, what did she say? You remind me of my dad. So I look to understand what's going on in this world as opposed to understand it. So I understood her fight. The problem was the people that she looked to help her fight was exploiting her struggle. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense because people don't understand the things like that we have. It is sometimes it's not. We could be born with it, or it could just happen somewhere later on in our life. But it's not something that we get to pick and choose. And with like one of the persons, when I went up to her yesterday, because something said me go up to her and tell her, you need to stop doing this, because if you don't, this is where you're gonna be. And she looked at me and she was like, who are you, a psychic? And I'm like, no, I heard a voice that said, come tell you. And lo enough, this morning, we were watching the news. Here it was, a female OD. Exactly what I told her. I was like, don't do the drugs. Whatever you do, don't do the drugs. You're going to be good. You'll make it through it. Right now, whatever you're going through, you'll make it through because this is going to be your sobriety. And she didn't listen. And I forewarned her. I was like, yo, this is what's going to happen. And sure enough, this morning we turned on the news and here it is. They found her body in the park.
But this is why I say, you know, a lot of times people don't know who's vibrating into their life and what message that person might be carrying. I never planned to, be on this panel, come across any of you or any of that notion. But I know that everything happens for a reason. I know that in this world, nothing is a coincidence. Now, however your mind perceives reality is a struggle that we all have to bear. Our perception of reality versus what reality really is, right? So when you're looking at it, there's only 10% of this world that you see with your carnal eyes. The other 90%, it's something that you have to feel. And a lot of entities that are roaming this plane right now are jumping in and out of people. And if you go back and you look at, what the Catholic, what they said, about different variations of things, they're telling you that this is a spiritual fight right now and you have to guard your vessel. Because a lot of people ain't waking up themselves. A lot of people are waking up and there's a entity that is feeding and feasting on them. And they're doing things that's unhuman like because they have to pay a soul in this new time and they don't want it to be theirs. So they're pushing other people to the limit. So that way they can pay for that soul that is theirs because the reaper is on them now. And he once was his. All of them that gave their self up for carnalization, and you can see it happening. Look at the owner of Call of Duty right now. What happened to him? Car accident, 55, right? Yeah, it just happened today. I operate in real time. I don't operate in I operate in real time. So when I tell you something, it's probably happening right now. But however you look at this, you look at the Marvels situation, you look at all of these people that had a chance to shape the mind of the collective in a great way, you see what's happening to them. Right? And we sit there and we're like, oh, that's hurtful. That's hurtful. No, the hurtful is watching the souls that's in the middle that don't know the fight between the light and the darkness get used by the darkness. That's what I'm hurt by. I'm not hurt by the darkness being the darkness. I'm not hurt by the evil begotten evil. I'm not hurt by that. I'm hurt by the innocent ones that are still in the unknown state. There was a lot of new souls that were born that don't know about the galactic war, that don't know about the fight that we had, during these different ages that they manipulated through the history of mankind, and they're being used right now.
Exactly. And it's like some people don't understand. Like this lady, she was like, my child needs deliverance. I'm like, how do you know your child needs deliverance? Because they told me. Well, who told you? Where's your child at? And when she was like, there she is. And I'm like, okay, when I saw her, you could tell that there was different things that was attached to her. But then I turned around and I looked at the mom. I said, but you brought those things to her. Because had you not brought those to her by the people that you brought in, that would not be happening to her. And she said, how do you know? And I said, because the 3 men that you brought in, and I'm not going to say this to say it lightly to, help your feelings, but why would you let them do inappropriate things to her? And that's the way she is. I said,
all right. So what I'm going to say is,
I see things in real time, past and present.
I can't.
What scares me the
She keeps
most,
on bringing up
because
like trauma. She
when
keeps
I'm
on
sitting here
bringing up
telling
trauma.
somebody
She
and
keeps
I'm
on
hearing the
doing it.
words like, you have to tell them,
Watch. She
even
keeps
though
on doing
it's
it. She
bad,
won't stop. Watch.
my heart wrenches, and it's like, how do I deliver it in a different sense to where I'm not like
I'm trying so
telling
hard,
them
but
like
she
you're
knows what she's doing. That's a sad thing.
That's where sometimes I get stuck because I have so many messages from past, present, and future for people.
You know, a lot of people have manipulated different variations of power. Like, for instance, trauma bonding. Trauma bonding comes with a certain level of power. And a lot of people have let the power of trauma bonding become them. So now, unknowingly, they are in the operation of bonding over trauma. And a lot of people don't even know that they're doing it. When I was, younger and I found myself doing things, I would ask myself, why was I doing it? And a lot of when it came to conversations, I had like a nice period where I didn't say anything at all. I just gave short, I would go to work, give short answers, short responses. I kept, I just listened. And when you listen to the world, you will see the operation of it. And we are stuck in this operation because no one's bold enough to change it. There's not too many influencers out there that's saying, you know what, I'm going to speak life into everyone. I'm going to try to give everyone understanding. I'm going to try. There's not too many, not in certain communities. So they keep certain variations of images out of certain communities to keep the community how they want it, if that makes sense. And that comes with controlling the collective of that community.
Exactly. So, like what I was saying, and corrected me when I said, "Oh, if I get on here and I want to talk about quantum physics, nobody's going to come to my page." But if I was on Messy Talk, I'd get a bunch of people. That was something I started to actually believe, which wasn't real because that's what they were feeding me, right? Well, see, Messy Talk is what's selling right now. You got to be on Messy Talk to really be hitting, but that's not really true. But now, if I believe it, then yes, that's going to become my reality.
And that's the trick of psychological warfare, right? It's trying to get you to believe something, and then that manifests into your reality. So when you're looking at social media and you're looking at your growth on social media, you can't believe what it is that's happening on there. You just got to believe in what you're pouring into it, right? And that's where the growth and the strength comes. You're going to run across a lot of people, and some going to stick around for a while, some going to fall by the wayside, short, whatever, however you want to look at it, right? But when you're pouring into something, you got to stay true to what you're pouring into it. A lot of people are going to come and try to put their perspective and their spin on your reality, and it's going to change your reality. If you stay in a negative group long enough, negative things is going to happen in your reality. If you speak about negative too much, negative things is going to become your reality. That's why the Bible say, if a man thinketh, so shall it be. And that comes with thought. So if you constantly sitting around people that's constantly thinking negative and talking negative, listen, either they're trying to push that into your reality or it's already became their reality. But somebody's reality is changing from these conversations, guaranteed.
I really appreciate that so much. I'm putting a fly now. I make these flies. When the young lady said in Reed's Live, and she was like, I want to follow quantum because this is the kind of content I want to listen to. I'm like, really? You really do want to learn about quantum physics? But it's just that I needed to tap into that frequency to align, and then boom, I got the encouragement that I kind of needed. But it was all me. going back to that whole topic of the I am and it was me. I love that. What is it? The Snoop Dogg is that I like to thank me. You know, everybody always be like, I want to thank God. And yeah, I like to thank me. Because I created all of you tonight. I created this reality. My subconscious mind, I really want to get into shadow work and stuff like that. My subconscious mind was like, no, baby girl, you're going down a dark path. Like, we got to punch a higher floor, like Prince says, and realign. And now I'm having a great Tuesday night. I'm flipping blinds. I'm talking to my peoples. I'm talking about a topic that really means a lot to me. Because I think if more people learned about this and more people learned about alchemy, then we'd have less frizzy stories to talk about.
I like to thank me.
I like to thank me.
Uh-huh.
Who wants to see the front?
And that comes with a lot, because when you guys do start doing your chakra work, you're going to come to like your root chakra and everything that exists in the root chakra, and then you're going to come to your throat chakra. And when you're able to speak something out, when you're able to speak your truth out and stand in your truth, that's when you're operating and working on that chakra. And I want everyone to remember, like, if you are doing shadow work, I want you to remember that these chakras are moving at the same time. So you can be working on your root chakra, but still be dealing with something in your heart chakra, you know? So you have to remember.
Chakra, now that you just said that, somebody's yellow one is spinning, and I don't know whose it is. I see somebody's yellow. It's spinning. I don't know whose chakra is spinning, but it's yellow and somebody's is spinning. Like it's out of control.
So for those of you who are not familiar with the chakras, the yellow, that's solar plexus, that's over here in the middle. That's in your stomach area.
Okay. That's not me.
It could be me, although I feel good because I went to the doctor today because I have gastritis issues.
It could be me, actually. I'm hungry because I see the flan. So it could be my.
Well, you have to remember that is the carnal side of it. The other side of it is your willpower. So your chakra is a representation. The yellow chakra is a representation of your willpower. So it could be that of will. It could be that of what is growing or spinning is someone will to do something, or they might be getting their will to, you know, push forward with some endeavor or something of that magnitude. So whatever is happening, it is building in the will.
It's me. There we go. It is because I'm debating Boxing Day. I'm stopping to eat something that I'm highly addicted to.
You're stopping to eat something that you're highly addicted to, that what you said?
Yeah, I'm going to stop eating something that I'm addicted to.
How do I get this?
No, I've had anxiety all week. Bad.
It's been hit. I think it's been hitting all of us, and that's why I was just like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I understand it's an important topic, but I think it's time to kind of shift. You know, I think this is a much more empowering way to look at it instead of being disempowered and being like, I feel, you know, like going into those negative feelings. Like, how can we, you know, there's so many, like all day there's people that are praying the lies, and what people don't realize is that's how the powers that get us. It's repetition. It's like when you were a child and you learned the alphabet, they made you sing it like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you remembered it and you never forgot it. So if they keep replaying something over and over and over and over again and drilling it into your head, you actually start believing that that's your reality. So it's like all day, I'm like, I don't want it. That's why I just started talking about Prince, because I was like, I don't want to talk about this anymore, because it's like, it's bringing you down. Not that, you know, and no disrespect to the family or whatever happened, but
yeah, I totally get that, because I was feeling the same way too. Plus, the holidays are really sensitive for me anyway, so I already have that going on, and then you're like just, you know, listening to the same old thing over and over. It's kind of like when we started with the Diddy stuff, you know what I'm saying? and it just overtakes your brain. And sometimes you just need a different outlet. So you have to go somewhere else and like reboot your brain system, your heart, your feet, like everything, you know what I'm saying? And just get out of the repetitiveness of it all. And not only that, but just hearing more and more things because it kept getting worse. You know what I'm saying?
Like take the life is on, but in other news, Gina, look at my plug.
It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
I'm going to close out my YouTube live because I got a YouTube live going right now, but I'm a drop down and come back up. But y'all make sure y'all tap the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna drop down. Y'all tap the screen. Make sure y'all build the room up. Join the team. Get those heart meets up there. Make sure y'all build the room up. Everybody on TikTok knows how to build the space. Y'all are familiar with how to grow the negative spaces. So let's grow the positive spaces just as hard as we grew the negative spaces.
Do you have the
With
same
love.
name for YouTube?
No, on YouTube is Ralph DaWise.
Okay.
I'm the same name.
We're connected because that's my dad's
Okay.
name, Ralph.
Yeah, it's Ralph DaWise.
That's my dad's name, Ralph.
Oh, is it? That's a unique name. There's not too many people with that name. Ralph actually goes back to the archangel Raphael, who usually comes with knowledge and wisdom, and then Gabriel usually follow with a choice, and then Michael follows after Gabriel. So Ralph is actually the first to come, and he brings the knowledge and the wisdom, and then the people have to be willing to accept the knowledge and wisdom or not, and then Gabriel will come with the choice, and then we make the choice, and then we will be, you know how it works. But yeah, so Ralph goes deep when it comes to the name. It also means a counselor for wolves. If you look it up in the name book, Ralph means a counselor for wolves. And if you go by Ninja Turtles, Ralph was the last Rono. So he was the last Ninja Turtle to exist after all of them left. But you know, neither here nor there. It's always great to hear from the collective and see the collective gathering. Hate that it had to be of this situation. Nice to see you guys gather.
We get the energy, we're alchemizing it now, and I think a lot of people are coming to more awareness. And Alex, I appreciate you more than you can imagine. Thank you so much, and come back.
Absolutely, I'm gonna come back. If you guys are still live, I'm gonna close out my YouTube live, and if you guys are still live, I'll come back up. But I'm gonna stay in and tap the screen though and build the page up. So no problem. All right.
Okay, can I say something to Gina real?
Okay, I'm gonna drop it. Okay.
Okay, can I say something to Gina real?
So yeah, YouTube. So that's basically what it is all about. You know what I mean? It's about building, growing, right? Reaching out there, using the power of your tongue to speak life, to speak a greater day, a greater perspective, you know, onto each other, so on and so forth. So you guys, I am in this operation at all times. I know you guys think, oh, he's not on YouTube no more. We got rid of him. Da 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 da. No, you didn't, right? I just know where to place my energy. I know like the people that want to grow, the people that want to build, they're going to be around. They're coming, right? For the ones who want to paint certain narratives so they can feel comfortable with themselves, allow them to, right? That's the perception of manifesting reality, right? Let them manifest whatever reality they want to manifest. If they want to manifest a reality where everybody's a bad guy, then allow them to manifest the reality where everybody's a bad guy, right? And if you go back and you look at the history of what we've been through on YouTube, you will see that in all situations, I allow people to be them. In the Discord, I said, hey, we don't do the trauma bonding stuff. By all means, be you, but we don't do the trauma bonding stuff. That's what we're trying to get out of, right? When it came to the pages, we be you, right? We always told Magic, be you, be the same. When it came down to the not, even in text messages, you can look, we said, listen, you do you. I can't stop nobody from doing them. I'm going to continue doing me. And that's what we're going to continue doing, you know, with love, light, understanding. We got some new songs coming. You know, But in the meantime, in between time, I want y'all to know, if nobody told y'all that they love y'all today, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you, right? I didn't plan on the evening to go the way that it went with me going up on that panel, but it worked out. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed the level of conversation that we bring, right? Because that's what we want to bring over here, right? To YouTube. And that's what we want to build a panel of people that want to speak life back into other people. Okay. So that's what we pushing towards. Greater things is happening. We want everybody to be a part of it. We know that we are in it together. We know that we're better together. And once again, if nobody told you that they love you, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you. Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. If you're not thinking great of yourself, nobody else is. Okay? I'm going to get back over there on TikTok and finish joining the conversation over there and see where that goes. It's always good to be in a great room, in a great space of higher level conversation. You guys are welcome to join. You'll probably see that I'm live, and you can just click that and it'll take you over to the person live that I'm in. Like I said, man, greater things is happening. We're all a part of it, right? We're going to push back for monetization on YouTube. We're going to send this page in a different direction, right? And we're going to show the operation of love, right? We're going to show the operation of unity, right? And anybody that don't like it, tough titties, okay? We didn't like all the negative that y'all pushed out. We didn't like all the chaos that y'all pushed out, but we dealt with it. So now y'all just going to have to deal with the love that we push out, okay? Y'all got to deal with it. The same way we dealt with y'all negative, y'all going to have to deal with our positive, okay? The same way we dealt with y'all chaos, sit there, deal with it, let it marinate, all right? Greater things is happening. Love and light to everybody.
Turn up, it's getting hot. So learn up or burn up, we're being taught. The past, future, in the now, you will understand if you allow. Mr. Wise will talk you through. He's gonna take that walk with you. He can give you the notes, let your spirit reply.